Okay, hello everyone. Today we somehow changed the setting. We're in the park and I'm going to tell you the story of one of my students. These days we don't go to school much, so I don't have a lot of stories to tell. I usually work from home and stories are a little bit different when you're at home, but this one is cool. This one is for when I went to school. I mean, we had face-to-face sessions. I got a student called Ece. Let's call her Ece. That's not her real name, but we want to keep her privacy. You know, in most of my classes, the hardest thing to do for me is to engage the students to the lesson. I really find it hard, especially when the student is a quiet one. There are some strategies, but with some kids, when they are somehow damaged, they've lost a parent, or they don't have a very good situation, warm and pleasant situation at home with their parents, or their parents are about to get a divorce, you know the drill. When the student is like that, it becomes even harder, and Ece is one of those kids. I mean, I know that she has lost her mother last year, which was actually the last piece of puzzle. I was not aware of it in the beginning of the year. I guess that shows us the importance of getting some background information about our students, especially the ones that are somehow damaged in the beginning of the year, I mean the school year. So I know that she has no friends. She limps a little when she walks. And the weirdest thing that recently, I mean, before what I'm about to tell you happened in the classroom, was that she used to cry. She would run out of the classroom to the toilet and continued crying for like 5 minutes. Then right out of the toilet, ran back to the classroom and sat down, looked straight at the blackboard, the whiteboard, and said nothing. So it was confusing for me. I didn't know what to do. The kid was somehow blocking any kind of communication with me. So then, one day I had this pair work activity, this group work activity in my class. I really like group work activities, pair work activities. They're really fun. I mean, at the beginning of the year, my kids didn't like it much because they didn't like the idea of changing their seats, moving the tables and chairs around the class. But then after a while, you know, when they saw that, oh, this is interesting, we can finish faster with a partner and it's pleasant and more fun to sit around the table. Of course, because of COVID, we had to, you know, be more careful about it, but that's not the point. Group work activities are really fun, especially in kids' classes. So, anyway, that day I had a pair work activity. I mean, it was not supposed to be a pair work activity, but I made it one. I have these drama queens in my lesson, 3 of them, 3 girls that usually sit in, you know, in one row together. And I told them that you have to work, I mean, you need to have one partner. It's a pair work activity. I wanted one of them to, you know, have to work with, sorry, I said her name. I'm going to edit this part. It's okay. I wanted one of them to work with Ece. So I know, I mean, I really didn't want to push a friendship forward, but I am the only parent figure for that kid in the classroom. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to sit around and see that she has got no friends. I had to do something. So the girls started crying, you know, there was a mess. One of them is a really drama queen. I mean, she was crying the whole lesson. I mean, literally speaking, the whole lesson. But then something really fun happened, you know. 2 of them finally, you know, ended up together, started working together, and one of them was left alone. Let's call that one Nuray. Again, that's not her name, but you know the drill. Well, in the middle of the lesson, you know, I started ignoring them completely. And Nuray was alone. She had no partners. And Ece was definitely alone, just like any other session. So Nuray looked at me and whispered, "Teacher, can I join Ece?" So I pretended that I hadn't heard it. So then again she repeated, "Teacher, can I join Ece?" So I looked at Ece and she was again looking straight at the whiteboard, saying nothing. And then she suddenly did this. So I said to her, "Ece is not interested. It's too late, Nuray." And then she somehow got embarrassed and said nothing else. So I remember I had to do something, so I had to leave the lesson for like a minute or two. I guess another teacher needed to talk to me about something. But when I came back to the class, I found that something really amazing. I mean, I saw that without saying anything, without even asking for my permission, Ece was sitting next to Nuray. Nuray had moved her table next to Ece, was sitting next to her. They were laughing loudly, and they were already finished with the project that I had given to the groups. They were showing it to each other and laughing, and God, the feeling was like, wow. After so many sessions, Ece finally had a friend. She was, at the end of the session, she ran towards me and she started showing their craft to me and asking me to take a photo of her. Wow. The feeling is like amazing. Don't believe them. You are a teacher. You are there to make a difference. You're not there to just teach the course book. I've been running, so I'm really hungry. Really hungry. We're going to eat. I brought some leftovers with me. Look, let me show you. Here. Ooh, yeah, it's not that beautiful, but it's healthy. You can see egg whites. A small piece of salmon is somewhere. Okay, I don't know where, but it's somewhere around. Everybody already thinks that you are there to just finish the course book and go home. But that is not really what we are there for. I believe we are there to make a change. We can have a great influence on those kids' lives. Remember, we are the parent figures. We are. Yes, now I'm going to eat my egg whites.